The CBI has arrested Abhijit Mondal, the officer in charge of the Tala police station, for allegedly tampering with evidence and misleading investigators during the probe into the rape and murder of the RG doctor. CBI also arrested Sandip Ghosh, the former principal of the medical college and hospital, for his alleged involvement in the rape and murder case. Ghosh, remember, is already in jail following his arrest in a separate case of alleged financial irregularities at the state-run facility. My colleague Saurabh has more details.
There were a lot of questions and pressure on the CBI to show some progress in the case. Now they've showed some progress. They've arrested Sandip Ghosh, the former principal of RG Medical College and Hospital. And also, along with him, they've arrested the officer in charge of the Tala police station. And remember, RG Medical College and Hospital comes under the jurisdiction of the Tala police station. And initially, the FIR that was registered before the CBI took over the investigation was registered at the Tala police station, with the investigation being conducted primarily under the jurisdiction of the Tala police station. Now, obviously, there were, certain questions that were raised both in the Kolkata High Court and in the Supreme Court. Delay in registering the FIR. Delay in registering the FIR because, remember, while the body was found at around 9:30 in the morning, the FIR was registered, way in the night that day. So many hours, more than 12 hours, had passed and nobody bothered to file a complaint, even though it was quite clear that the girl was raped and murdered, the postgraduate student was raped and murdered prima facie. And the principle should have registered an FIR is consistently what both the High Court and the Supreme Court have felt, that there should have not been such a delay in registering an FIR once this was discovered. And now, of course, Sandip Ghosh has been arrested for delay in registering FIR.
West Bengal CM Mamata Banerjee had reached Swasthya Bhavan in Kolkata to meet the doctors who were protesting yesterday. She told the protesters that this is her last attempt to reach out to the doctors. She assured them, however, that she would look into their demands and take action if anyone was found guilty. Now, she was addressing the protesters amid chants of "We want justice" outside the Swasthya Bhavan in Salt Lake. Saurabh Gupta has more details.
Very surprising that yesterday's meeting fell through, because obviously yesterday the Chief Minister went to the protest side, appealed to the doctors, said come for talks. And then, of course, the doctors agreed to come for talks. Now, the state government is very clear that nowhere in the email is it written that live streaming will be allowed, though the doctors have made that demand publicly. On that email, they say that was not promised and that was not agreed to. Now, the doctors reached at around 6:30 and left at around 9. And from 6:30 to 9, they waited outside. But initially, the doctors refused to come in. There were videos of the Chief Minister coming out, asking them, telling them, if you don't want to talk, come in and have a cup of tea. Don't get wet in the rain. We've given you umbrellas, but don't get wet in the rain. Now, despite that, the doctors didn't go in. However, at around 9, when the Chief Minister, after waiting for about 2.5 hours, retired, is what we are being given to understand. At that time, some of the doctors came and said, okay, we agree to having talks. But initially, they insisted on things like a video recording, live streaming, etc., which the government said, no, it will not happen now. But if you want it after the Supreme Court hearing, we will give it to you. And also, the government said that one of you can watch, the video being recorded, and you'll see that everything will be recorded. Now, that didn't placate the doctors initially, and they, of course, continued to insist on their demand for live streaming and videography. However, later, when the Chief Minister had retired, is what we are being told, and the Chief Secretary and the Minister of State were leaving. At that time, apparently, the doctors agreed to talks, but however, at that time, they were informed by the Chief Secretary and the MOS that it was too late. It was almost 9 o'clock, and, and then, of course, the doctors left.